September 2nd Board of Commissioner meeting. First item is public comment. Do I have anyone here for it? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on. We have Mr. Jay Moore for the annexation of roads in Kirkland, which would be the ordinance 2025-07. Morning, Jay.
Good morning. We've come to, looked at the surveyor's office, and Jefferson Street, as it goes out of town, is half the town boundary goes down the middle of the road. So I'll call it the east-northeast side is in the county, and the other side is in the town, which means when Kirkland applied for a community crossings grant to pave it, the answer was no. You don't own, it's not within your boundary. And looking into it further, we found that Kirk Street is being shown on the state of Indiana's inventory of roads as being in the county. Look at the surveyor's office. Kirk Street is shown on the plat of Kirkland in 1836. So I believe that it is clearly within the town. And East Monroe Street also shows up as being, we're not asking for, on East Monroe and Kirk Street for annexation, because those are clearly within the town's bounds, but they show up on the state of Indiana's inventory of roads as being maintained by Clinton County, and we think they should be maintained by Kirkland. So I guess we're asking for more work. But I think basically, and if I'm wrong on this, I'll be corrected, Kevin probably could, is I think Kirkland mainly takes care of plowing those and taking care of those streets currently. So anyway, that's what we're asking for. And that's what the petition is about.
Okay, any questions for Jay? I think we discussed this at a couple other meetings.
Right.
This was to, I guess annexation is the right terminology. I said relinquish at previous meetings the road of East Jefferson Street to the town of Kirkland, and then obviously clean up the inventory on the two that clearly seem platted in the town, but for whatever reason at the state level they don't align.
I thought I would put it in this so there was a document we could show NDOT.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And
You get
Kevin, you
that.
probably know more about this than I do, about, I'll have to figure out what the next step is with NDOT.
Yeah, you just never know what that's gonna be either. So, yeah,
Okay, so do we have any other questions or comments for ordinance 2025-07, which would be the annexation of East Jefferson Street to the town of Kirkland, as well as the acknowledgement of Kirk Street and East Monroe Street being within the town limits?
I'm fine with that at this point.
Me as well.
I'll make that motion, we approve that.
Okay.
And I'll second that motion.
All right, motion carries 3-0. We'll get that signed for you.
Thank
Jay.
you.
Okay, next up, I don't see Liz here yet, so we'll go to Rick with a highway update. Morning, Rick.
Morning.
I have the community crossings for 2025 for the gas, portion of the gas line that got resurfaced, have the invoice for that to be paid.
Okay.
If you just wanted to pay it or not.
Do you have a copy of it?
I have a copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you sent this over to us.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
I sent that a couple weeks ago. It was right after the last commissioner meeting.
Yep.
I got it.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the road resurfacing invoice for Reeve Riley in the amount of $537,199.80?
I'll make that motion that we approve that.
Second.
Okay, motion carries 3-0, and it has been through the engineer, BF&S, to
Yes.
make sure all of the applicable charges are correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, we got federal aid for Bridge 51, which is on Marlboro Jefferson Blacktop, right there, where, I think everybody knows where caches live. We got federal aid for that bridge.
Okay, good.
We've been paving with our new paver, and it broke down on us Wednesday. It's got def issues, and it's going to cost us $13,000 to fix it. So that's where we are with that. We're kind of at a standstill with that. Bridge on Bailey Bridge Road on 850 West, in between 350 North and 200 North, was on the list for underwater inspection. So we got Brian Ridenhour to go out there with us, and we dumped some riffraff over the side, and he pushed it around, got down the water, pushed it around underneath the piers. So that should be able to get that taken off the underwater inspection.
Good.
How much was the funding for Bridge 51, and what's the time frame for that project?
Won't do anything until 3 years, and I got the paperwork with me.
So 2028?
I'd say probably after that.
2029?
Probably, yeah.
It's $2,188,697.
Okay. Any other questions for Rick?
No,
this morning?
Rick,
No.
nice
All right,
job.
thank you. We have no old business on the agenda. We'll move on to our new business. The first item is the allowable cost policy. The auditor's not here today, but I believe this came about in the SBOA audit that we have annually, and we just have to adopt, or they suggest we adopt this allowable cost policy, which talks about basically grant funding and funds that are from the federal government and how they're administered internally. So I don't know if there's any other comments regarding this or not. I looked through it. It looked fine, pretty
Yeah,
standard.
Seems like
Yeah.
straightforward.
Yeah. If so, we'll entertain a motion to adopt the allowable cost policy.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on it. Next, we have the appointment of organization lead for public health. See Melissa and Melissa are here, so whichever one would like to take the lead.
Thank you. I sent to our commissioners and also throughout our county what is called a pledge to our Health First Indiana participation. And that pledge, Health First Indiana, it's a statewide initiative that was created by the SEA for legislation passed back in 2023 by the General Assembly. That legislation provides funding so that counties can determine the health needs of their community and implement evidence-based programs based on prevention. HFI establishes a public health infrastructure through a state and local partnership where services are delivered at a county level. So that is what all of you know as our HFI monies that we took in 24, 25, and now going forward in 26. One thing in kind of doing some office cleanup and digging through what is out there on the state website is the HFI for Clinton County shows our partners and it shows our pledges. And we were really lacking in a lot of that area. So one thing I sent forward was asking our community businesses and our county itself to make that pledge. And so the commissioners have so agreed. One thing it does ask of every corporation is that they create a liaison that works with the health department. Obviously, yours is a little different because you already have that liaison in the work that both myself and Dr. Pearson do on your behalf. And so I think this was really Britt just wanting to make sure we put into the minutes that we have that established pledge and we have that appointment. The pledge itself says, "I pledge my organization will help to improve Hoosier public health outcomes within the county we serve. I pledge my organization will act on the following goals intended to create community partnerships through collaboration and communication with our local health departments. Establish ongoing dialogue with community leaders responsible for the development and execution of the county HFI plan. Appoint an organizational lead for public health that will coordinate communication and provide updates to local and state leaders," as I'm doing. Discuss our organization's health plans or other strategic plan with our local health departments and incorporate their feedback into future planning, and also partner and collaborate with local health department to specifically address at least one of the core public health service areas, which are maternal child health, chronic disease prevention, and also tobacco and vaping prevention and cessation. And so that was the document we presented. If it is acceptable to the commissioners, I would be that appointed lead on your behalf with Dr. Pearson's support. And when I say me, I mean the position of public health administrator, not me specifically, but obviously I'm happy to be here doing that job now.
Yeah. Any questions?
None.
No?
No? Sounds
I
good.
did want to acknowledge, I think we sent out to about 50 of our corporate areas that had not, we had a few. We had already on our books, Healthy Communities, obviously, Positive Link Services, which helps with our HIV and Hep C, WIC, Open Door Clinic, Learning Network, RIGS, Boone County as part of our partners. In addition to that, we've added Dr. Jill Snyder, Meridian Health, Partners Bauer, Ralpha Medical Clinic, and CCM EMS. So we're building and we're getting that documentation out there. Great work happens. Clinton County is one of the success stories of HFI, but we're not good about getting that back out there to the state. And so people don't see that. And that's part of my role, is making sure that they understand that, look what's happening here. The partnerships we have are phenomenal.
Yep.
So, thank you.
Great.
Okay.
So we'll have a motion to, one, adopt this pledge, as well as then appoint Melissa as the lead for us.
You want that in one motion?
I think so.
Okay, so moved.
All right.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 on that. So
Thank you,
good.
gentlemen.
Okay. Next item is a discussion topic. We have had, I guess there's been a couple traffic accidents at 300 West and Farmers Gravel over the last couple months, and a few of those residents have reached out to see if we would entertain, well, they would like a stop sign there, but that involves the process of doing the traffic study. So I said I would bring it up to you gentlemen to see if we would be interested in doing a traffic study there to see if a stop sign is warranted, which would make it a four-way stop, right? Because Farmers Gravel is a through road, and currently stop signs on 300 West. So it would be to look at bringing it to a four-way stop. Any questions or?
I don't know about questions, but it's kind of an unusual location for stop signs, to be honest. I'm not sure if another stop sign is going to take care of any situation, in my opinion, so I'm not sure what a study's going to do for us. I would bow to Kevin's experience, though.
I think, I don't see anything wrong with having the study, other than the expense, but I agree that it is kind of a unique intersection, and you know, obviously if people would stop, look, there would be less accidents, but definitely something that we could do as a study to, you know, to see what, set up the traffic parameters and everything, to see what they,
It's up to you guys. I said I would bring it to the board for discussion to see if there was interest in looking at it. I don't know if I have the numbers. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 traffic accidents in the last few months, roughly, I believe was a number that the residents had told me out in that area. So,
I would say let's let's let Rick take a look at this and see if that warrants a traffic study.
okay.
And just leave it to him, you know, maybe we can increase signage out there or something to, there's already dangerous intersection signs, I believe.
Yeah.
So, I'll just leave it to his expertise to see if there's if it warrants a study at all.
Okay.
I'm good with that. Rick, are you okay with that?
All right. Next item, department heads. Do I have any department heads? Renee. Good morning.
Good morning. I'll start with EMA. And we can talk further after the meeting possibly. We need some weed eating done badly out there. So, because we haven't, obviously replaced our maintenance guy and we're kind of trying to figure out what we're gonna do, moving forward. And I don't mind mowing, I enjoy mowing, but I need some help with the weed eating because it really looks bad. And I don't want it to look bad. So, if I can get some guidance from you guys on if we can get somebody out there to weed eat until we figure out moving forward what we're going to do, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
So, that's all I have on that thing. Friday, I had requested IDHS to come up. So one of the reports that is required from EMA to do is the THIRA report, the Threat Hazard Identification and Risk Assessment. And just looking at it, it was a lot, and I needed to understand it and learn. So I had requested IDHS to come up. So on Friday, they came up. One of the gentlemen that does their reports, he came up. They're actually their IDHS number 2. Came up, their deputy director and their PIO came up for a short time and stayed. I got to meet them and visited with them. And then Warren County's EMA director had started in January, and he also needed to learn on this report. So we spent several hours working on that. I still have lots to go, but I was appreciative of that because it's important and it's a requirement, and it's one of the reports that's due at the end of October. So I've started on that. I know I've emailed you all. I do have several items that will be going to the auction that County Highway has said they would take down for us. So that will be taken care of. As far as dispatch, I don't have anything else on EMA unless you do for me. For that. Dispatch, we've been working on trying more of an outreach to our Hispanic community. A lot of people don't realize that we do have translation services, not only voice. We do have 3 that are bilingual dispatchers, but obviously they're not there all the time. But we're trying to get that word out that we do have translation services available through Language Line if somebody places a 911 call, as well as texty. We can text through multiple languages on both voice and text, but we have a large Hispanic community, so we're trying to get that out there and do more of an outreach with that. We've created some new flyers in English as well as Spanish. We're going to have a booth at the Races Festival that we're excited about to participate and do some of that outreach as well. This Thursday, we're participating. This is our 2nd year, I believe, doing the Healthy Communities Health Department. They're all doing the baby shower, the community baby shower. We've done that as well the last 2 years. This will be year 2 for us. So just trying to do some of those outreach, in the community to get the word out with things. So other than that, I don't have anything else, I don't think, unless you do for me.
No?
No.
No?
Thank you for the
Thank
update.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
For
thanks.
both of them.
Some quick updates to share for the health department. One of the regrets I've had already just in the short time, and this is a positive regret, is just the amount of things and opportunities that come our way and not being able to do everything simultaneously at once. So we recently just passed the deadline on a major lead grant initiative in that was being offered in the federal government. Now, the great news is there are more of those grants out there. Definitely we'll be focusing on how we get our hands on some of that to do lead abatement, and especially our older homes. Clinton County is much higher on our percentages of older homes, which would be our most suspect for lead concerns. But also another one that had come by was our school communities safe routes to school grant. And while again, it was actually the same night that that you had your Rossville community. We made some connections with there, but that grant still was passing us by right in that very moment. So I've reached out to the state. There are some opportunities to reopen that and to still get in on kind of their third phase of safe routes to schools for kids. So reaching out to the community for anyone who would be interested in working alongside with ourselves, our healthy communities. We will be happy to kind of help guide that grant process. I also have another grant being reached out from Franciscan Health on AED placement. So Franciscan has a program where you can request an AED for nonprofit organizations. Within our county is an eligibility. And then they issue 1 to 3 AEDs per site, a wall cabinet with the alarm, the wall signs, the supplemental training, and then also CPR and AED training. So that one just came across. I want to make sure that the community is aware of that for nonprofit organizations. And I'll be happy to work with anybody who's interested in that. I don't believe we have one at the health department, and I believe we should.
Probably
So
should.
we will be working on that.
Okay,
Thank you.
great, thanks. Steven?
Good morning.
Morning.
If you need a contact for discounted AEDs, I got you. This morning, I just have to present you the proposed agreement with Ascension Health for supervising hospital agreement. Not asking for a motion or anything like that, just for your review.
These are the same ones that we've done in the past, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
The
Different entity.
Yeah. I'll just touch base real fast. The only thing that I have seen looking through it that I have an issue with is 9.2-3. I'm going to ask for the removal of that terminology. So, the state Indiana Department of Homeland Security has also offered us the unique opportunity to apply for a waiver to be an independent EMS agency without a supervising hospital. So we need to take that under consideration as well. So, and that's all I'm going to say on that stuff. You guys have anything for me?
Are we ready to do that, Stephen? To go independently?
Are we prepared to? Absolutely. We would function very successfully independently. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
We'll, I guess, are you gonna work on the changes on this, and then we'll have Tom review, and then we can do it at our next meeting?
Yep.
Okay. All right, great.
In the meantime, I'll send one more email.
All right,
So,
that
right.
sounds good. Thank you.
thank you.
Any other department heads? Carol? Yep, go ahead. Call this council update.
Council update. I wasn't sure if all the department heads were done or not. I'm coming today as part of the Job Classification and Compensation Committee out of the council, and I wanted to ask the commissioners to avoid posting of any positions between now and our budget hearings. I'm saying maybe October 1st.
Okay.
You know, we are all going to have our budget hearings next week, and we may have budget cuts, and it would be a shame to hire somebody this week and wish we hadn't in 2 weeks. So I was just asking for that
Little
to,
grace period.
a grace period of no hiring new positions. I would say merit deputies would be an exception to that. Public safety is first, of course. That's what we're asking.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the commissioners?
No.
I think until we get
Oh,
going.
now we got questions.
Yep, I got questions.
From From the
Hello.
audience.
Hello. As you know, we have posted a position currently for our food inspector. That is currently being filled by a contract position only. And so one of my interim roles is to make sure we get that piece of it sealed off so that we have that long-term going on. Food inspector position is something we're required to do, and that is a hire that would be coming actually at the end of this week. So we are interviewing actively this week for that position.
That was a position that you already approved to be posted, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm asking you just not to post any new,
Okay.
any
Yeah.
filling positions or those kind of things.
So yeah, if it's already been posted and working through it,
Yes,
then it can
yes.
continue. It would
Yes.
be anything
Going for- okay,
from,
Great.
roughly today forward.
Great. Thank you.
Time frame is what I believe Carol's asking.
I knew there'd be questions.
Questions from the back as well.
One of our EMTs, Nissa Moore, just passed her paramedic exam, and so she's now an Indiana licensed paramedic. For our expansion that's been taking place throughout this year, we've got 3 openings, and the expectation was that she would fill one of those openings.
Does this have to take place before October 1st?
Well,
I mean, she's like, here's where I'm hamstringed on this is like, in the state of Indiana, you are expected to practice to your highest level of licensure. So personally, I find it to be,
She couldn't be an EMT if she has a paramedic license.
I can't hold her to an EMT standard with a paramedic license. And I find it to be inappropriate for us to pay her as an EMT when I'm going to expect her to bear the responsibility of a paramedic, because that is a drastic
and I
difference.
sort of think a first responder kind of goes up and over the bar to begin with. So it's no different than the deputy that we need on the street, so.
It's all public safety.
Yeah, exactly, public safety is it. So I'm not opposed to continuing with increasing that.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else for me?
Hold on, I'm just looking at my calendar here. Because you said till roughly October
Well,
1st.
our hearings are next week.
Yeah,
And I was just throwing out there, October 1st, because, sometimes what we usually do is we usually have the hearings on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and then we call some of the departments back, and to allow time for all of that to happen, I was thinking the October 1st deadline, but if you want to shorten it, you can.
when's the second?
The 9th and the 10th are our hearings right
And-
now.
and
And
then-
the callback, I've forgotten the date, I'm sorry.
23rd.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you. They're already planning for this.
Okay, so a lot to digest there.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be an issue this morning. Cecily, I'm gonna rope you into this, sorry. For our PRN, EMT, and paramedic positions, we have allowed open applications, and over the last 3 months, we have had an abundance of applicants, and we pooled them all together, and so in the next week, we are interviewing, I think we're up to 15 EMTs for PRN positions, so yeah, how would you like me to move forward with that?
Again, I think you're public safety, and I think that we don't need to cut back the safety of what we need. So in my opinion, I'm supportive of anything we need to do. I don't think that's the place that we are going to cut.
Okay.
No, I agree
Are
with
you
that.
comfortable with the budget you're bringing us?
Well, not now. How about this? How about we move forward with the interviews, and before we offer any positions, I will present with the council and commissioners. I'll send a mass email to everybody and break down what the impact will be financially for our budget. Will that work?
That should be fine.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just going back to her original request. So if you did interviews, the likelihood, I think you could still do the interviews because that gives a little bit of time to have those conversations with council, decide whether you're having second round of interviews, right? And at that point, you probably realistically are in that last week of September, where there's going to be more clarity from council and guidance on what you do and don't have. So,
And these are as-needed positions.
yeah, yeah,
Vacancies, so.
yeah.
We're just trying to be prepared for, if we have to cut budgets, we don't want to hire somebody one week and wish we hadn't the next week, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be uncomfortable, an unfortunate position for all of us to be in if that's the case. So,
But again, I would suggest to the council that we're not looking forward to cutting any kind of public safety.
Okay, we
Budget.
understand, we understand.
No.
so do we have, there was different comments throughout.
Sure.
So do we want to accept that or move forward with some kind of hybrid suggestion that Carol made, or leave it as is? What are you guys kind of thinking here?
I think,
I-
go ahead, Kevin.
No.
Go, you're good.
Well, no, I'm just gonna say that you've, I mean, we could hold back on, like Jordan said, even interviews with EMTs would be, likely not to be happening until October 1st anyway, so,
We were just thinking of not allowing any postings of any new or open positions to.
I don't see an issue with that at all.
Yeah, so to clarify all of that, or at least my summary of it, and then we'll see if this is what everyone else agrees with. If it's currently posted, it can continue to be posted. If it has not received approval, or it opens up from this point up until, we'll use October 1st, then we'll hold off on posting any of those, with the exception that there's merit positions that are open that can be filled, and then the paramedic position that can be, you have three paramedic positions open? That all of those, we won't silo it to just the one that you brought up, but collectively, all of those are still posted technically, so you can fill those. Does that make sense? Okay. And that gets council, that buys them some time to have the conversations with each department next week, as well as in the last week of September, on what the future looks like for their department, if there has to be any cuts made in any place. So,
We've been wrestling with this for some time, trying to figure out what to do, so.
okay. That was a lot of words, but
Yeah.
we'll see do we have anything to add, or do you not want to do that? Open it up to you guys for some
Well,
level
I'm-
of motion.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
If we
again,
want
I just, for the council's sake, I just would kind of suggest that we stay away from our public service as far as emergency first
We
responders.
understand, we understand.
If we've gotta cut
We don't have
something.
we don't have any idea where this might come down. We're just
Exactly.
trying to say, we all know things have changed. And the amount of money that might be available, who knows? We're trying to figure that out.
My
We're
only
all
point
trying to
is
figure it
that,
out.
For example, Boylston having no responders out there and stuff doesn't
Right.
make sense.
Right. And
First,
we-
safety's first. in my
Exactly,
opinion.
and I was, and I said, except for the deputies,
Good.
because we know that, so I understand.
Okay,
I'm good with that.
Yep.
You want,
Motion?
yep,
Okay, I'm that motion.
all right. Motion,
second?
second, it'll carry 3-0, so if you're watching or not here, as a department head, feel free to reach out to Carol or us. Again,
I'm changing my phone number.
not a hiring freeze, just a little grace period from now through budget season
Right.
for anything that comes open.
Thank you.
To allow them some time.
Thank you.
To work through that, so.
Thank you.
Okay. Got that. Any others? Okay.
Liz?
Huh?
Does Liz have anything?
Liz, you have anything?
Do not, unless you have something.
Nope. You weren't here earlier, so I wanted to circle back.
I appreciate it.
All right, commissioner reports. Commissioner Weaver, anything this morning?
Nothing really that's coming forward that I'm aware of.
Okay,
No.
nope, I don't have anything this morning as well. We'll move on to our board business. Claims dated August 22nd in the amount of $9,773.41. Claim dated August 29th in the amount of $48,450.92. A biweekly from September 2nd in the amount of $344,272.92. And lastly, a court claim from September 2nd in the amount of $16,501.61.
Move to pay the claims for.
All right.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0 on claims. Next, we have payroll from August 8th in the amount of $581,576.33.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on payroll. We do not have any minutes for today. Our next meeting will be September 16th. Is there any other business to come before us this morning? Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Thank you.
We'll have somebody tonight for the reading. Greg will come up in the courthouse, unless you guys have changed it. Locations. Area plan.
I'm not aware of any. Unless we go
You go
upstairs.
here and you go upstairs.